Hello and welcome back to another video, guys. Now that's right, today we're back with another ranking. And of course, Halloween Kills has finally hit cinemas. So guys, today I'm back to rank all 12 of the Halloween movies. So a little bit of background on me and Halloween first. I'm new to this franchise. About 3 months ago, I want to say, I bought this lovely set here from Amazon Italy, which contains Halloween 1 to 6 and then the two other movies which sort of branch off on their own timeline, I believe. So you've got the original 8 Halloween films in here, so 1 to Resurrection. Then I went ahead and watched the 2 Rob Zombie films, watched the 2018 one a couple weeks ago in preparation for Halloween Kills, and here we are. I've seen all 12 Halloween movies now, and yeah, we're just going to rank them. Now remember guys, this is my opinion. It's not right or wrong. This is just me putting them in the order where I think we're going to go from my least favourite to my favourite. So yeah, we'll get started, shall we? Let me come over here so we can see the movie posters. So, my least favourite Halloween movie, coming in 12th place, is Resurrection. Yep. So, I also should say there's going to be spoilers in this video, okay? Because this film instantly kills off Laurie, which is pretty embarrassing, especially after, you know, H20 sort of built this character up quite well, or added to her. You know, she's the original hero from the original John Carpenter movie. Then the film that came before this built her character up, and they just do that thing which everyone hates where they kill her off in the first 5 minutes, which is really embarrassing. The premise of this film is really bad. Like, they're going to go film in Michael Myers' house, and then he comes home and starts killing them all in the house. Also, all of the human characters in this are super annoying. They're that over-the-top kind of early 2000s, late 90s, kind of teen punk, kind of American Pie styled humour, which is funny because one of the actors from American Pie is even in this movie. And yeah, none of the kills are particularly interesting. And it just makes me laugh that there's loads of people sort of watching this happen because it's being live streamed. There's loads of people watching this, and like no one really goes to the house and tries to help out. It's like, oh my god, we're just gonna watch them all die. This film is really bad. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. Next up is what a lot of people would probably put last, but I think no matter what, these two films kind of get flip-flopped anyway. Rob Zombie's Halloween Kills. Halloween 2, sorry. Halloween Kills? Cool. Bit early for that one, I think. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not a Rob Zombie fan. His style of directing is not really for me. For a start, this film is so brutal, but it's uncomfortably brutal, I think. The thing about Halloween is, at this point, I think it's fun to watch Michael Myers go around and kill people. I know that sounds really sick, but that's what these films are at this point. It's fun to watch this guy brutally murder people. And I think, whereas like the 2018 and the Halloween Kills, the new one, does it really well, these films just are too brutal for me. I really hate his style behind things. It feels very uncomfortable to watch. And on top of that, this is some of the worst writing for Halloween in terms of scripts. The scripts for both Rob Zombie films, but this one here is terrible. The kills are just not interesting. Rob Zombie has an obsession with characters getting killed during sex. Yeah, and this film's boring. Like, the first Rob Zombie film, again, we're going to get to that in a minute. The first Rob Zombie film is definitely better than this one, but this one's just boring. This one is just flat out, I've got no interest in ever going back to this one. The film does absolutely nothing for me. It moves at the most bland pace. It doesn't look good. The cinematography's bleh. It's just not a good movie. It's just not. I'm going to give this film 3.5 out of 10. Yeah. One of the most forgettable Halloween films. Next up, this is going to be my controversial one. Other than that, I don't think my list is too controversial, but this is going to be my controversial one. The big die-hard Halloween films are absolutely going to rinse me here. I'm still new to the franchise. Maybe when I rewatch this film a few times, I'll learn to appreciate it more. But Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, comes in next. I know, I'm sorry, I know there's some really big fans of this one. And again, maybe if I give it a few more watches, which I definitely will. I definitely plan on revisiting all of these films, other than the Rob Zombie ones, probably, and Resurrections. But I plan on revisiting all of these movies at some point. And 3, I will give another go, because people do try super hard to defend this. I've watched it the once. I just found it pretty empty, pretty lifeless. You know, the absence of Michael definitely does affect it. But maybe that's just because I go into these films wanting to see Michael. I put on a Halloween film to see Michael. I don't put on a Halloween film to get whatever this film gives you, I guess. Yeah, I just found it a bit empty, a bit boring, and a bit lifeless, and I didn't really care. That's on first watch. Again, I'm going to go back to this one at some point in the future. Hopefully, when I come to re-rank these films next year, when Halloween Ends comes out, because I'm sure I'll do a re-ranking when Halloween Ends comes out, this film might be a lot higher. For right now, though, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch is going to land right here. Next up, we have Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, starring Ant-Man himself, Mr. Paul Rudd. I didn't know Paul Rudd was in this franchise. What a pleasant surprise when he popped up. And then what an unpleasant surprise when I realised, oh, Paul, you're in one of the bad ones. So I know this film has also had, like, 10 cuts of it or whatever. It's ridiculous. So, again, maybe I'll watch a better cut of this and it might make me like the film more. But for right now, I watched the theatrical cut because this is the one that most people have seen. I thought I'm going to go with that one. I know people have said that there are better cuts, but I want to watch the theatrical one. I want to watch it how it was seen by everyone else. And then on rewatches, I will do another cut. Because this set here has 2 copies of Halloween 6 in, funny enough. So yeah, I'll watch the other cut when I do a rewatch of these next year. But yeah, this film sort of tries to pick up from where the 4th and the 5th one sort of left off. And again, it just sort of fell a bit flat because all the interesting characters are more or less gone here. Loomis is sort of just smooching about in this one. I don't know, I feel like the energy of the story that have been building through 4 and 5 just kind of ran its course and they sort of steamed out here on this one. It's very boring. I don't really think this film does too much. Yeah, I don't really have much to say on it. I'm going to give this film a 4 out of 10. I think I forgot to give Season of the Witch a score. So, by the way, 4 out of 10 on that as well. Okay, next up. Here's Halloween. Not the original. Oh, I wanted to make some of you be a bit like, oh my god, no way has he put it this low. Rob Zombie's Halloween. So yeah, it's a bit better than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but that's not hard because Rob Zombie's 2, Halloween 2 was bloody terrible. Again, this film here, I don't really like. I hate the way this film opens. I don't need to see Michael Myers' backstory. I don't need to see it. I hate the way it's shot as well. The dialogue is awful. The acting is cringy. There's a filter put over this whole movie which doesn't appeal to me. I just really hate the style of this movie, and the script is crap. The obsession behind killing people while they're having sex all the time, it gets a bit draining after you've seen about 3 people shagging and getting killed at the same time. Yeah, Michael feels like a real threat at times in this, more than he does in some of the other films. And I think it, at times, can be some of the scariest Halloween here, which is why it's this high on my ranking. Because none of the other films that I've talked about so far have that to them, to be honest. But the style of this movie and, yeah, the way it's shot and stuff, and the script, the diabolical script, the terrible acting, the bad pacing, just doesn't really make for a very good film here. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to be kind because it is some of the scariest Halloween, and Halloween is a horror franchise. So, yeah, it gets that, but it's just not a very good film. Next up is Halloween H20, which was a very pleasant surprise for me. I really thought I wasn't going to like this film. I'd seen the posters and like, this doesn't look good. And I watched the trailer and was like, this doesn't look good. But I had a very pleasant time with this one. I think it's probably one of the most interesting takes on coming back after Halloween, the original. And I think in this timeline, Halloween 2 still exists as well, the original Halloween 2. So, I think that you have that aspect to it as well. I really enjoy the plot of this one, where it's set and stuff. There's some fun kills here. And I've got to admit, Michael Myers made me jump a couple of times in this one. So yeah, there were actually some side characters that I sort of cared about. There were a couple that I really didn't. There were a couple where I was like, I really don't want you to die. And I suppose that's what makes this franchise, is how much do you sort of connect with the side characters? How much do you want them to survive and stuff? And this film does quite a good job at that. So yeah, Halloween H20, I'm going to give a... Oh, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10 to. I quite like this one, you know. This was a good time. Then we have Halloween 5. The Revenge of Michael Myers. Maybe we'll have little subtitles, some of these. Some people really hate this film because I think it just takes away from that awesome cliffhanger in Halloween 4. But, you know, for me, watching it all first time back to back, you know, it was kind of fun to see where the story carried on. First off, I want to say the actress who played the young girl in this one was fantastic. Really great. Loomis was also really, really awesome in this one. You know, he got some really badass scenes. And yeah, Michael himself was really cool. And again, I just think this one had some fun kills to it. The pacing was a lot better in this one than 6. Yeah, I just thought this was a really good time, this one. 6 out of 10. Just a fun film. And then next up, where are we at now? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming in 5th place. I think that's where we're at. I got a bit of a mumble-jumbled ranking here with, like, I'm going off my monster, not my monster, my villain ranking. So we've got, like, Chucky's and Friday the 13th, and Scream and It, loads of other stuff on this ranking as well. Coming in next place is Halloween Kills, the new 2021 Halloween movie. Is this film great? No. But it does, you know, is it entertaining? Yes. This is some of the best Michael Myers kills in this one. I feel like Michael Myers took some cocaine before this film and he's gone on an epic, massive rampage because he gets the most kills he's ever got in a film here. I think the film is paced surprisingly well. It does throw you from one group of characters to another a bit, which at times can be a bit much. But, you know, in terms of consistency in the film and how the pacing's moving, it's actually going quite well. I love the kills in this one. Michael is so angry. He's so pissed off, and it's great. Yeah, I know that Michael walks everywhere, but in this one, he's definitely teleporting behind the scenes. No doubt about it. Or he's full-on sprinting, because he is fast in this movie. But at this point, you know, you sort of give up caring about these films. You know, you're like, you know what to get from a Halloween film. We're 12 films in. I just want to see him kill people for fun. The side characters are not particularly great in this one. Like, one of the kids from the original is grown up, and he's got, like, walking around with this baseball bat, acting all cocky. I couldn't wait for him to die. I feel like they really underused Laurie in this one. You know, she was barely in the movie. But, you know, there was some cool stuff. The ending was awesome, I thought. I really liked that. So, yeah, I got to say I really like this movie. I'm going to stick to the score I gave it in my review, 6.5 out of 10. Is it anything great? No. Is it one of the best of the year? No. Is it one of the best of the franchise? No. But is it a fun time? Hell yeah. Next up is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. For me, this was a great comeback to the franchise when I was watching it, because I really enjoyed 1 and 2. As you can probably tell, haven't mentioned them yet. 3, Season of the Witch, sort of pulled me out of the franchise. I was struggling to go back to it a little bit after that one. But I knew that Michael was coming back, so I was like, no, I'm going to go back. Really enjoyed this one, although I've got to say the mask sucks. In this one, the mask is not good. I'm sorry if you're a fan of it. I'm not sure why you would be, because, whoo! This was a really fun movie, really cool. Some of the kills in this one was really great. This is as close to the original as you can get, I think. Other than maybe 2, because 2 was filmed almost straight after. But this one feels like the original. Michael's back, lurking around the town, getting some really cool kills in. Some great pacing, some great tension. The score in this one's pretty good. Feels very similar to the original. That great John Carpenter theme, of course, playing throughout this film a lot. A lot of the side characters are really good. And again, that awesome cliffhanger in this one. Which I know the 5th one takes away from a bit. But hey, they wanted to continue the story. So they, you know, that cliffhanger is obviously going to get resolved. But anyway, it still has a great cliffhanger to it. I'm going to give this film a 7 out of 10. Really, really fun time. Then we have Halloween 2018. So yeah, it took me a while to get around to watching this one. But it's a film that I did actually see it around the time it come out, but it was at someone's house. I think it was a house party or something. It was on in the background. Weren't paying attention. The only thing I remember is having that really stupid twist where it's like the doctor let him out and stuff, or his the guy who was sort of looking after him. I'm not a fan of that. Even on the when I was watching it last month for the like with fresh eyes, I still weren't a fan of that twist. I still think it's kind of stupid. And to be honest, that's really the only big criticism I have of the movie. This film does a much better job than the Rob Zombie one of bringing you back to this world, picking up from the original. You know what Michael's done. This is it. What's happened to him after all these years. It's so much better than the Rob Zombie one. The pacing of this film is 10 times better. The script is a lot tighter. Some of the cinematography is quite cool as well in this one, I think. Michael looks great. I should say, his mask in these two, especially Kills, actually, looks fantastic. The best it's ever looked. But yeah, I really like what they done with Laurie in this one. Like, I think that what they do with her here is better than H20 as well. I like the fact that she's sort of been preparing for his return. I think that's really cool. So yeah, big fan of this one, actually. I'm also going to give this film a 7 out of 10. It's really solid. There's some good scares in it. And it's a surprisingly well-paced modern horror film. Good job, Halloween 2018. Then, we're down to 2 films. Can you guys guess what order they're going in? So, coming in second place is Halloween 2. I don't think many people would put this one this high, to be honest. I think most people like to kind of throw a curveball after the first movie. But I've got to go with Halloween 2 as my second favourite, because it purely is the one I enjoyed the second most. I like the fact that it picks up straight from the first one. So after I finished the first one, I was like, I need to know. And I like the fact that it's still set on the same Halloween night. Very similar to what 2018 and Kills has done now. Love that kind of poetic kind of feeling to it. I sort of wished that 2 was still canon in the Halloween universe we got at the minute. But I suppose Kills kind of has pushed that one out now anyway. But I really like it. I think, again, I like the fact that it picks up. I really enjoyed that we're still with Laurie and we're following her story and stuff. Loomis is still about, which is really cool. This is some of the best stuff he gets to do as well in this movie. And again, Michael just keeps going on his rampage. Still gets some awesome kills. I enjoy this film quite a bit, actually. It's a really good horror sequel, which we don't get many of. Yeah, it's a really fun time. I'm going to give this film a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5. But then, of course, coming in first place, it's gotta be the original, the John Carpenter movie. Now, I know that some people, actually, because I know a lot of people have been watching these films for the first time. Some of my friends here in the Blue Tube community, a lot of people I know have actually been watching it in preparation for Kills. And a lot of people have been saying they think it's a bit overrated and stuff. Now, with this film, when I watched it, I went back in time. In my mind, I was like, right, I'm back. When this film came out, this is one of the first big slashers. And I think for its time, it is incredible. And I think it actually holds up quite well today. And I know that you know, it's a very small budget. The Michael Myers isn't exactly too scary. This film is haunting and chilling, which I think is something which modern horror filmmakers struggle with. They like to go more for jump scares. I think it speaks a lot for this movie, for a film this old to be able to do that still, because I was watching it and I was very nervous watching this movie. And it's done purely through the score for a start, which is perfection. John Carpenter, what a legend. And I think just the way it's shot as well, like a lot of the camera angles and the slow panning and stuff. I think it's, you know, it's one of the first films to do this sort of stuff. And it works so well. It is a classic. I really love this. The whole dated aspect of it, there are certain aspects of it, yeah, that are dated, but I think overall as a film, in the horror genre, it holds up really well. It deserves its place as a classic and the ultimate slasher movie. Halloween, I'm going to give a 8.5 to. I freaking love this movie. I think it's great. So yeah. There we go. There's my Halloween ranking. 12 movies there. That's a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it as always. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like the video. Leave a message. And as always, I'll see you next time for another video. Bye-bye.